Good day. How are you? Amazing. On today's journey, I'm going to take you through a relevant situation where I was disrespected. However, I'm fine, super happy, so slight tone in my journey. However, not petty, just full of wicked grace. Stay tuned. There comes a time in our lives where things become very uncomfortable and even hard to bear, where you almost need to grieve. Sometimes things happen that are unexplainable from your perspective, and you may not realize what's working around you right in front of your eyes every day. Sometimes our journey is not what we set our path to be. But then how do we turn around and heal? It's hard. Recently, something happened, and I'm going to be very honest. I was very upset, disrespected, betrayed. The funny thing is, the whole time I tried to be positive, create sustainability, a foundation, figure out new means, fundraise. However, sometimes people in your lives are put there not to embrace you, not to support you, but to counteract or disrupt you because they're not put there by God. Sometimes people in front of your own face smile, offer warm embraces, and tell you they care about you. But they're there with an evil eye, a jealous eye. And the eye they behold holds so much power that it can truly upset your vibe. The other day, I went into a meeting. Although I knew that the end was near, I didn't believe that this meeting held an intention of disruption. Especially since I was overeager to help and trying to figure out everything and making sure that we were tying up loose ends and working through everything to make sure we continued being successful with or without me. You see, prelude to this event, before this occurred, we had this meeting where I was told I would no longer be in a role that I was in. Now, before I dive in deep into that truth, I want to take it back a step. As many of you may already know, I had a baby, beautiful baby, my fourth baby. So I'm not a new mom. I know policy and procedure, regulation. I know what's due to women who are pregnant and what respectively they get in their contracts. There's nothing new. And the other thing is, you ever meet someone that I don't know what it is about them? I believe they're lacking some confidence, that when they speak to you, they'll say things like, oh, here, let me show you how to write your name. And you're like, oh, okay, show me how to write my name. They speak to you as if you don't have the experience or wisdom that they may have, although you're just being silent to allow them to grow. I want that to just resonate. You see, my tone in this podcast today is a little different. Sometimes when you deal with people, you have to learn to allow them to either grow, find their way. Maybe you slightly show them the resource so that when they're explaining things to you, it seems like it's from them. Well, as I was off on the journey of going on maternity leave, I then had my child, and I received an email that I was terminated from a position that I acquired before I was on maternity leave. Although I get to keep my position, my role, this additional work was no longer allowed to me in an email, not a conversation, not an area of mutual respect, in an email. It was, here's the email. How are you? How are things? You're terminated in that sense. And when you have a leader that behaves that way, you start to see the layers unfold. And the thing is, I am the number one advocate of what I do and of people around me. I won't keep people around me unless I believe in what the cause is and what they do. However, at that point, I was shocked. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Well, thank goodness I'm a woman of my own means. And therefore, I didn't let it bother my stride. And I enjoyed my maternity leave. When I came back from my maternity leave, I saw so much chaos. The chaos that was unbelievably, undeniably something that could have been avoided. Watching the chaos and trying to understand what's going on allowed discertainty of the futures. So I'm just sitting there and like, oof, this looks horrible. So in that point of view, I said, well, I need to show support and grace. Then some time passed, and I noticed I wasn't paid correctly. Multiple times I wasn't paid correctly. And I said, okay, here we are. We are immersed in disorganization. Again, a woman of my own means, my own stride. I'm able to say, okay, we'll fix it, get it together, and try to remain calm. But if I wasn't a woman of my own means, maybe destitute, I might have lost my grace. And although my tone is a strong tone, and somebody may take my tone without the sweetness that they're used to and accustomed to hearing my tone, I'm still graceful. Well, then it wrapped up that there was a mistake. And then, here goes my benefits. And now after my benefits, we have a conversation of, we're going to need to change the role because of the budget. That right there in itself was comical. I believe satire, because in that moment, knowing what I have put forth and everything I have done, there's no question of budget. I think misallocation of funds is the appropriate subject line, not lack in budget. Because here's the thing. We are immersed in the middle of the year, and you're to tell me now that you're changing my role due to the budget? Therefore, was the budget not balanced when you created the journals of the budgets in the beginning of the fiscal cycle for our business? That in itself showed me either A, there's misallocation of funds, or B, the funds are being spread thin to protect others, or C, there's something clearly wrong with the people handling the funds. Because then I offered conversation of, well, could it be that we're supporting this and we're doing, no, it's because of grants. No, you see there, the uneducated eye would say, oh, okay, hey everyone, because of the grants have ended and da-da-da-da. But the educated businesswoman, yikes, that I am, saw right through that. And sometimes when you work very closely with things, you see things from a different perspective, especially if the company is a 501c with public tax records that are accessible from anyone. You can see that there's an issue there. But why am I telling you all this information? Well, so the last conversation was my separation would be on this date. And that was the date that was stated in a meeting and recorded. Well, you know what? That didn't happen. And you know what happened? In front of my little son, he had to hear people not being nice to my mommy. Mommy, they were not nice to you. Why were they so mean to you? And I said, alas, my love, you know that your mother herself is not nice. I would never characterize myself as nice. But you were correct with just a replacement of a word, kind. They showed no kindness, no care, and no appreciation for where they all are. Because had it not been on your mommy's back, all of them would still be lying in their face on the mud. The thing that was the most upsetting point in that turn of events was people that honestly stated, well, aren't we friends? We are friends. Aren't you my friend? And that's the thing. This is the lesson. 1, they were never your friends. Because for somebody to talk about other people in front of you, definitely they talk about you in front of other people. 2, for those that are lost in their own professional learnings, they're definitely lost in your professional learnings. For those that are right now going through a fire by baptism, that they have no idea of what they're doing, now sitting you down, expressing you to go over all the details of your job so that they can be successful without you, is a lack of refinement in discussion and career. And that's okay. In that moment, I excused myself and said, good luck, as I walked away very sad and crying to my child, because there I felt my heart hurt. But then, guess what? Every single person, I guess, because as you see, the people in that meeting who are the most trusted have big mouths and immediately told other people, because all the other people then texted me, how can they do that? It's unbelievable. So disrespectful. And I said, you know what? It's okay. Be well. Bless you. It's true. But bless you. I'm fine. My 4 children are fine. My husband and I are fine. Our family is fine. Our dynasty is fine. Our respective lives are fine. And you can always find me on LinkedIn or at your local podcast. You see, that's the thing. You can take everything away, but you really only took away what's here. And in the drop of water in this glass, if you spill it into the ocean, it's nothing. Please understand. This is what I always laugh about and what I want you guys to take in deep. What you do right now is not who you are. It's not your identity. The day we all die, our gold earrings, our cash in our bank, our latest hairdo doesn't come with us. We shrivel up. We decay. How we affect and impact people speak volumes. Every company I've ever worked for, I have a great rapport, and I can reach back 25 years in my own portfolios and repertoire. This is just a blip in the timeline. And the funny things about it is 1,610 parents, scholars, community members all have access to me, because that is what I cultivated. And when they reach out to me, I'm able to still help them and redirect them. However, the pivot that you beheld, you no longer behold it. And I feel sorry. I feel sorry for you. If you're listening to this, thank you for clicking. And good luck. For everyone else, the loyal fans and respective followers of my podcast, let's take some lessons. Lesson 1. Always know who you are and what you value wherever you are, especially in the workplace. If you work at Walmart and you're the cashier, please make sure you scan every pepper correct, every cucumber correct, you weigh all your bananas, you do the best job that you can do, because that is the integrity of it all. It doesn't matter that you work at Walmart as a cashier. It doesn't matter that you're a doctor or a brain surgeon. What you do may impact someone's life. and how they feel about who they are. And that act of kindness, not niceties, kindness, will forever be a blessing in your bank account. And one day when you check your account, you'll see that your blessings are overflowing. And maybe you need to say, you know what? Don't God bless me. God bless you, boo. Because you seem to be negative in your account. Lesson 2. All the friends that you have at work, always keep them at arm's length, even if they feel they're very close to you. Because once they are close to you, if they have venom in them, you will be paralyzed. And in meetings like the one I had, they will not defend you. You know what's interesting? I was thinking about this. If I was in that meeting and it was someone else that wasn't me, I gladly would have stood up and said something because of my integrity. If I told someone, oh, I'm going to give you 4 Jolly Ranchers, and here I am with 2 Jolly Ranchers, I would say, oh, you know what? I did tell you I was going to give you 4 Jolly Ranchers. I owe you 2 Jolly Ranchers. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if I'm wrong. What makes the situation correct is speaking the truth, standing up for the truth, beholding what we state to others. Because even if it's just me and you, when you walk away, you will remember the fact that my integrity didn't steer and yours did. Your foundation was built on a swampy sand dune, while mine is on a strong foundation, and I'm able to cut my ties and do an amazing podcast. Lesson 3. No matter how you feel, no matter what you feel, no matter what accesses you have, you delete everything from every phone, every iPad, every laptop, every connection that you can possibly find. You delete it. You know why? Because you don't need to be petty. You're free. You can do whatever you want. You can just go and live your best life. If you have all those access, can you be petty and venomous? You sure can. But you don't need to, because they will fold upon themselves as they are a house made of cards and you're a house made of stone. Very strong foundation. It's okay. It hurts inside though, right? It does feel like a grieving period. During COVID, over 2 million people were let go from their employment. And you know what's funny? I remember having a conversation because during COVID, I was let go. 500 of my coworkers and myself were let go. And I remember I was so upset. And we were scheduled a counseling group for people in COVID. And it was by my benefits that millions of people joined these counseling efforts. And I remember meeting someone and she said, raise your hand. It was like a virtual meeting. Raise your hand in this call if you're upset that you were let go. So like 1,000 hands in this virtual, I don't think there's like 500 people on the call, raised their hand. And they were all different companies. And they said, well, look, don't feel so special. You're not alone. 500 people feel the same way. You're all in the same boat. Misery loves company. And I laughed. Because, you know what's funny? One day, me and my husband were driving down one of these major highways around here, I don't know, 192 or something. And we were upset about something. I'm trying to remember what the conversation was about. But I looked to the side and there was this man, this blonde-haired man on the side of the road. He literally had no shoes on his feet. He literally was exhausted and sunburned, and he was laughing and smiling. And he was outside just telling everybody, pray for him. That's all he was saying. And I rolled down the window and I said, you all right? And he was like, I'm very happy. And I said, do you want some water? And he was like, sure. And he took the water and he was like, I have water, but I'll take your water. Thank you. And then I rolled up my window and I said, every problem that I thought I had right now, this man who on his sign, he says he has diabetes, his wife passed away, he has no shoes on his feet. He's clearly happy. He wasn't delirious. He wasn't hysterical. He was just happy to be alive. And that's what he said. He made it through. He made it through is what he said. And he said he found peace. So anything that I'm upset about right now is petty. I feel I've made it through the rigor. So now I know better. And it's so funny because you ever watch someone making something you love to make? I don't know, anything, cake. And they're using the ingredients, they're not mixing it right, everything's okay. It's really like lacking a flavor. Oh, they forgot to put some sugar. Now the cake's ready to be served and you taste it and you're like, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. And the funny thing is, you walk down the street and there's bakeries all around with amazing, delicious cakes. And when you go buy a cake from those bakeries, you're like, wow, that's crazy. You know what's crazy? It's exactly relevant in this situation because you were missing ingredients. Your cake, your pastry, your chefs were not the best. And it's unfortunate for you. But I can go in any bakery I want. Buy any cake I want. And you're stuck there trying to figure out your recipe. And good luck. On this note, on this journey, on this tone, I'd like to thank all my followers. Thank you so much. And I just want to say to everyone that remember, how you treat others will come back to treat you the same way. So just be kind. Be respectful. Show grace. And smile. Have an amazing journey, and thank you for joining this fantastic life.